say hello while I'm still scooting back. Hello.
Hello.
This is take 2.
Take 2.
Take 2. I doodled this during our first take.
Can't
Oh
see
no!
Help me. Help me, Tom Cruise.
This is how I feel. Okay. We are going to do a Q&A. I still don't know how to say it. A Q&A with my transgender brother.
So we're not regular people.
It's so punch in the facing.
I don't understand.
I just feel like there should be like a smoother way, but there's not.
There's no smooth way.
There's no smooth way.
It is what it is, really.
All right. So anyways, he got some questions from me that he stole from someone on YouTube. And I asked my YouTube community what they would like me to ask. So I've got some questions. You've got some questions. Your questions are for me, right?
Pretty much.
My questions are mostly for you, and some are for me. So I guess I'm gonna answer a lot of questions.
It's really kind of about you, about me.
It's about
About
me.
your feelings about
me,
me.
about you. So anyways, we're gonna try to make this quick since it's round 2. Round 2. So we were last time in the middle of discussing Jenny. I lost everyone's names. Oh, Sierra. Perfect. Sierra wants to know if I noticed any changes in your attitude or behavior before you came out about who you were. I guess.
I mean, yes. That would be the question.
And my answer is no. Because we weren't talking a ton at the time. Because you lived super far away. And on the phone you seemed normal.
I'm really good at
I
acting
don't
normal
know
on
if
the
you
phone.
were like having an existential crisis before.
Oh, I definitely was, for sure. Yeah. No, I talked to you
But
on the
it
phone and
seemed
then I'd be like, just like cry and like run. I ran a lot. There's a lot of running. Not from my problems, actual running.
Both.
From my problems. Can't think about problems when you're
went on a
exhausted.
run.
A lot is the thing.
I had an image of you like throwing the phone down and crying and just like booking it. Like just
I mean,
just
it wasn't.
running. I gotta go!
It wasn't like that. But it definitely, I mean, there was some stuff happening, but it's a lot easier to keep that under wraps when you don't live close to people. And you can just call them and be like, mentally prepared.
Fine.
Yeah.
Like that meme of the guy sitting in his chair in his house burning down.
His
and it
flaming
says,
house.
everything's fine.
That's
Or
usually
this
it.
is fine. That's
Yep.
what it says. This is fine.
But also, because
like my
I knew
life.
it wasn't going to be a problem or anything with you, I was just going to be like, this is the scoop.
And I'd say,
Yep.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's actually... That brings us into one of my questions is, did you know
Yay,
beforehand, before I told you that this was already a thing?
Yeah.
You knew before I knew, for sure, for like ever,
Forever.
for like my whole life.
Like the first time we talked about this
Oh yeah.
the other day. The first time that I thought, well, I guess I didn't think that you were transgender because I didn't know what that was. Because that's how young I was.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the first time I was like, you're a lesbian. Or like something is up with you. I was probably, I said you were 7, I think. You were probably like 6 or 7.
So you were like 13?
I think I was
13?
12. You were probably 6. So I was like 12.
Yeah.
The first time. And it wasn't just me, because I was with some friends, and my friends also were like, have you ever thought that your sister's a lesbian? And I was like, and that was the only word we had, because
Yeah.
we didn't know.
Well.
But you like always wore boy clothes and had boy haircuts and were into boy things. And so then later, the older I got, I was like... Because actually when you came out to me saying that you were a lesbian, right after high school, when you were like, I have something to tell you in the car.
The drama.
And I actually expected you to say... not lesbian. Like, I expected you to say, I'm transgender. And I was going to be like, oh, okay. But then you were like, I'm a lesbian. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's a reasonable step.
Okay.
It's the regular
But none of
stepping
them
stone.
were like, shocker.
Shocks.
No shockers.
Shocked
I cannot
me.
stop. I can't stop clicking this button.
It shocked me.
Shocked.
I was
Shocked
shocked.
him.
I was always like, why the hell did nobody tell me?
That's not something you
But that's
tell
not
somebody.
appropriate. I know that now, obviously. I know that's not appropriate.
Walk up to a little kid playing with like
It wouldn't have been
race cars and be like, "You're probably transgender."
Wouldn't
The
that
kid's
just
like, "What?"
wouldn't that just give people something to complain
Oh,
about?
that'd be bad. Not the best.
Not the best.
So that's all the way back.
That's the answer to that question.
That's the answer to that question.
It wasn't too dramatic.
I knew.
It was pretty,
Everyone knew.
yeah.
I think even the people who didn't want to know knew.
Oh, yeah. Even the people who fought me my whole life and were like, you're not going to like
They
these
were like,
things. You're not going to want these things.
You're gonna wear dresses. Deep down, they were like,
Damn it.
"I'm making you do these things because I have concerns."
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work.
I don't think it
So if
usually
your kid is showing
does.
signs of potentially growing up to be transgender, you can't force them to wear dresses.
You're just going to make their life way worse.
Or you can't force them to
Like
not wear
different
dresses.
things. Be a different person. You can't force them to be different.
No.
Believe it or not.
That's how you make a serial killer.
Oh my gosh.
No, for real. I've studied quite a few serial
That's
killers.
weird.
And it's either from like, they're always like, from really like neglectful parents, which makes sense.
Mhm.
Or they're from like so religious, hardcore parents that they feel all bottled up and they can't be who they really are, and then they are like, it's gotta come out by murder.
Is that how that works?
Not always. Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, don't pressure people. Moral of the story: don't pressure your kids.
Don't pressure
to be
people.
something that they're not.
You don't have
because
to
you
be.
could make them a worse person.
Mm. You can also make them really, really, really sad.
And really sad.
And I'm
And
not
hateful.
saying this from like personal experience, but like, it's not the right move. You don't have to just be like, I don't know. You don't have to just like instantly give your kid exactly what they want, but you could, I don't
Be
know,
nice.
be nice and let them play with the things they want to and wear the things that they want to, and it just doesn't have to be that big.
If
of a
your
deal.
little boy wants you to paint his nails, just
Oh
paint
my
his
gosh,
nails.
just paint his nails.
I got in an argument with someone about that on the internet the other day. This girl didn't know what to do because her 5-year-old wanted his nails painted. And I was like, what you do is you paint his nails. He's 5.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Dumb. Anyway, tangent. So, next question. This is a question from Jenny. She asked a couple. Do you miss your sister? No.
Like I'm like the exact same. So
You're the same. That's what I was going to say. No, because you're the same person. Genitals don't make you who you are. No offense.
I just always acted this way.
You're just the same.
I just always acted this way.
It's the same. I had concerns at first. Not concerns like, I was gonna make you not do what you want him to do. But
Regular
like concerned
concerns.
for like our relationship, because I was like, maybe this is gonna make everything different, and that's gonna be sad because you're my best friend. But it's fine.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to be that way. I think it's ridiculous when people instantly just act different towards someone when they transition. And it's like, all they really want probably is for you to use the right pronouns and the right name and then just still be nice and treat them like they're the same goddamn person. Don't be like, hey girls, wanna go get your nails painted?
When
But
we watch chick
I would
flicks
never
and
wanna do
do face masks, I still call it girls' night,
And it's fun.
and it's fine. It doesn't mean you have to be a girl to be in girls' night. It's just girls' night.
I have a bunch of guy friends who do girls' night.
Mhm.
Because it's fun.
Because it's fun.
It doesn't frickin' matter.
The only thing that's changed, and it should have changed anyways, is I don't like change in front of you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or like, I used to be like, if he was getting ready and like brushing his teeth or something, and I'd be like, I gotta pee, and I would just like go to the bathroom. Not that we like looked at each other,
Well, no.
obviously. It's super weird.
Creep. Nobody would say that. Or
Some people are weird like that. Girls are weird.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Gosh. I never was part of that because I was too uncomfortable. So I would never.
Girls are weird. I've been in like changing rooms like for swimming
That's
where
true.
someone would like compliment you, like, you got really nice boobs.
No!
And I'd be like,
Please don't look at them.
excuse you?
Yep. No.
Nobody said that to me. I don't have nice boobs.
Hot
I don't have any.
springs. Naked old ladies.
Yeah.
Not comfortable.
But anyways, so not that it was like weird, but now I'm like conscious of that. I'm like, you don't change your clothes in front of guys or your brother, because that's creepy. So that's the only thing that's changed, but that doesn't hurt anything.
No, it's
Probably
for
fine.
the best.
Your turn.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how hard was it for you to change my name and my pronouns when I asked you to do it? I didn't really ask you to do it when I came out.
No, you didn't ask me. It wasn't hard to change your name, but it's because I called you Cass anyways.
Yeah. I chose a name that
And you
would
chose
be
a name that
easy.
was still kind of the same nickname. You want to say what your name was?
No, I don't care. I have to say it?
Oh, you want me to say it? So you went from Cassie to Kason, but we just say Cass, regardless. So that wasn't hard.
Because your kids already called me Cass.
Yeah.
And they also already knew me as a very, like, masculine-looking person, so it hasn't really been any sort of a problem. Which is nice.
Super lesbian Aunt Cass.
I don't even think they even remember ever
They
calling
don't.
me aunt ever.
They don't.
No.
It's weird,
It was
too,
good.
because Aria was older. And she doesn't,
Hmm.
it doesn't seem like
She wasn't old
remembers.
enough. And I think it makes more sense to her. Just
Yeah.
in general, so it's easier to think
Yeah,
about.
because you dressed
I looked the exact
boyish
same.
clothes and you
I just had a
longer
chubbier
hair.
face.
And you had longer hair.
That's true. Well, just
you had
right
like
now.
a pixie cut.
For a while. But not even really. For a while, I had the same hair.
Were you transitioned at college? When
No.
you graduated?
No. Nope, not at all.
Oh, you look the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just look less.
So it was probably more, it's better, it's for the best.
Uh-huh.
'Cause
Most
now
of
they're
these
not-
clothes
'cause
are the
now my
same
kids-
clothes that I had
because
before.
Kids just, they're not trying to be rude, but they just don't understand. Now my kids aren't looking at you like, yeah, girl?
Hmm?
What?
What?
Since they're little still, and they don't understand.
Yeah.
I forgot what we're doing. What are we doing?
I asked you how hard it was to change my name
Oh,
and pronouns.
Pronouns were hard for a second, but I think it's not even that it was hard, but I have really bad anxiety. I'm a very anxious person, just in general, in life. And I had seen how you reacted to other people not changing pronouns properly, like other people in our family and stuff, and how upset you got. And so it made me leery for quite a while to even use pronouns at all. Because I was so afraid that I was going to use the wrong one and then I was going to be in the group of like jerks who can't say things right. And so I like tiptoed around it. Like I said Cass a lot. I referred to you as Cass instead of he or him all the
that's
time.
easy
I was like, Cass
anyways.
is over there. Cass likes to eat pie. Cass, like I never
Yeah.
didn't call you Cass.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Like, that's what I've always said with everyone, is that even if you just avoid it at all costs, because it, like, hurts you. It
I
hurts
still
you.
had a
That's
little,
fine.
it didn't hurt me. I was just scared.
Yeah.
I was scared. But then I still, after hanging out with you or something, I would still go home and have like a ton of guilt because I felt like it was obvious I was avoiding it. And I felt like the obviousness of me avoiding it would still hurt your feelings.
No. I get why you felt that way, but I feel like
I just didn't want to be on the burn list.
there is no burn list. It just comes down to if,
I just
like,
didn't want to be the person that
I
made
just
you cry.
want someone to. The only time I'm upset is if people are like blatantly doing it on purpose and just blatantly not trying at all, which can be a thing for sure. And that is what hurts me because it's like you are intentionally hurting me. Like that is what you're doing on purpose. If you mess up and then you're like, oh, I messed up. Even if you mess up every single time and then you say, oh, I
I'm
messed
sorry.
up. And like just,
you backpedal
or even
real
you
quick,
just
be like,
change
"Shee."
it or whatever. It doesn't even have to be a big deal. It can even be like obvious and I'm not going to be upset because that's not reasonable. It's really just if you like give a crap
Yeah,
enough.
because you can't change people's
To
like,
try
force people
and
to change their thought
care.
process.
Yeah. Just
You
to
gotta
try,
try.
obviously.
How long do they say? It takes a week to create a new habit.
Is that true? I don't know. I have no
It's like
idea.
a long time to create it, to break a habit. That's what it is. It takes quite a while to break a habit, and you have to like actively be doing it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the same for yourself, kind of. Right when I transitioned, I was like, I would think about myself sometimes in that way. Like, she and stuff. And then I'd be like, no, you don't have to think that anymore. Like, you don't have to feel that way anymore. It's not the right way to feel.
So anyways, my next question is, Jenny also asked what's different between us, but I feel like we just covered that in our rantings. Because nothing's
Yeah, that
changed.
is. Yeah.
How's our relationship? That's a quick question. Good.
Good. Who knows? Probably even better. At
This
least
question-
on my end, because I don't have to feel like I'm like hiding
Yeah, and I
things.
feel like I can be more open with you about like, I hate the word mental illness because it makes me sound like a psycho. But like my mental illness
Not at all.
stuff, I just have a lot of self-conscious.
Yeah.
Like
well,
anxiety and depression and stuff like that. I feel like I can be more open about stuff because you know how it feels to have some weird things going on in
Sure.
your head.
that's true. And before, I was just kind of like, everything's great, everything's fine. I'm great. I have
And
no
before I
problems.
was just like,
This is what I
why
wanna
am
be
the only
doing?
one who thinks weird
No.
and has weird feelings
Nope.
and weird like reactions to things because I'm anxious about everything.
No. I was just in denial. Really
So-
good denial.
I think it's Marshall because she's a girl. It's spelled like Marshall. Marshelle.
However you say that.
Marshall. Anyway, Marshall wants to know, this is the nitty gritty here. How did you navigate telling your kids, which we haven't because they're babies?
And I have that on mine too.
But I
Like-
feel like we've talked about it and there's like somewhat of a plan, right? Between you and
hmm Well, it's kind of up to you.
I'm weird because I don't know, I'm a very avoidance kind of person. And not that
Not
it's
because
something that
it's
deserves
bad.
to be avoided, but just because
It's not super necessary
I don't know how to
at
describe
this
it.
time.
Like, for example, like my parents never sat me down and had like a proper sex talk. No one ever told me about sex or sexuality or anything like that. It's just like something I like learned through living like along the way. And I didn't need someone to like guide me. I guess a lot of people do need that. I
Yeah.
guess some people are a little bit
Well, in the internet.
worse at putting things together than I was as a kid. Because as a kid, I could watch like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I learned about like sex and sexuality and stuff like that from like watching Days of Our Lives with my grandma. I just put it together and I was like, oh, sometimes girls like girls, sometimes boys like boys. They make out, they do things, it's not a big deal. So I'm kind of that way. Like I just assume my kids are gonna like figure their crap out on their own. And if they have questions, to try to be like a cool enough parent and an open enough parent that they can ask me
Yeah.
and feel comfortable asking me. But I don't want it to be like a big secret either. Like
Yeah,
it's not like
it's
I'm
not
like, let's
shame-
never tell them.
Shameful.
Let's just have them think that you're their uncle and never let them know the truth. Like not like that. But I feel like we're like, you and I are just like moderately open about it just in talking. And we talk about things in front of my kids, even now.
Yeah.
Um,
Whenever they decide.
and they don't pay
to-
attention, but I feel like me as a kid, once I started getting older, you pay attention to like what the adults around you are saying. And I'm assuming that they would kind of just catch on and then ask about it.
And then we'll talk about it.
And we'll talk about it. We're not going to talk about it right now because I don't.
We don't
I know
need
some
to
people are
force
super pro, like just it being part of their lives growing up. But I just don't think that their brains are like developed enough to comprehend the situation
That. Yeah.
because it doesn't make sense.
They're very little, and it's not a big deal. Like, they know me this way, and it's not a problem, and whenever it becomes something that they want to talk about, then we do.
Mhm.
Because it'll be good for them to know, and it'll be good for them to have someone like me, so
I
that
don't
they
want-
are compassionate and understanding
Right.
people. But that doesn't mean that we need to be like, hey, guess what? Like when they're 2 years
Yeah.
old.
And I don't want them to think that they can just do that either. Not that they can't, but I just feel like
They don't-
I've seen little kids who've been like told about that. have some friends who are super open, and I'm not judging their parenting. It's fine, but like their kids, because they just they can't quite understand it.
Well, adults
Kids can't understand like
usually.
things that go on in people's heads and like stuff like that. This particular friend, her 4-year-old, like legit thinks that you can just decide. Like one day she'll just be like, I want to be a boy today, or I just want to be, I don't know. Like
Well,
they just don't
and you don't
understand
know-
that it's like, it's not something that someone just woke up one day and was like, do you know what I want to do today?
Yeah. It's too complex of a feeling. It's
Yeah.
hard for like adults who are not trans to understand at all how it is to feel that way. So for a kid, it would be difficult. And that doesn't mean that like even with your friend, like sure, their kid might end up being.
Yeah,
They might
right,
have
yeah.
those feelings, and they might know because a lot of the a lot of the time, kids can know for sure. Like me, obviously, but I don't think that.
And I worry about how much kids talk too, because kids have no filter.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to walk up to like I
Yeah,
don't know,
that's
like
true.
the lesbian girl who works at the grocery store and be like, are you going to turn into a boy? Or like, you know, like, because they don't know how to not say things.
I've had very bad
And, like,
experiences with children,
weird
so
stuff like
yes,
So I feel like ignorance is bliss
for a little while.
until they can get
Until
their
they can handle it.
brains a little bit more grown up.
And that's
I just don't.
good. It's for
Kids
the
don't
best.
even have the part of their brain fully developed for impulse control until they're 5. And my kids are under 5. They have no impulse control. They have no idea how to act right. And it's not even that they don't know how, it's that they can't do it. They can't. So I'm not going to trust them to act right now.
Well, yeah, and we wouldn't want them to like tell strangers
No.
about that with me because we don't live in particularly a good area. It's not a super open
We live in
area,
Utah.
so
People love the Lord here. And not that we don't love the Lord. We love the Lord just fine. But some people love the Lord more than others. And it makes them act wrong.
well, that's not right. They don't love the Lord more than others. They don't
They-
understand how they should be acting.
They think they love the Lord.
They think they know what they're doing, but really, they are just being hateful.
Really, they just don't know how to be nice people.
Yeah.
Which, let me just say, Jesus was nice to everybody. Be like Jesus.
Isn't that the
If you
point?
like him, you should be like him.
Not be a big jerk.
Anyway, oh, it's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
We're already at 22 minutes, so we should be
Okay.
swift.
What was your biggest concern when I did tell you that I was going to transition and stuff? Other than girls' night. Because I know that was
Girls'
one
night
of your
was the
biggest
top of the
concerns. She was like, well, are we gonna be able to have any fun anymore?
Can we have fun?
I was
Or
like,
no.
yeah.
Right when you told me, I didn't really have any concerns. I was concerned for our family's reaction. Not really just our family, just like people's reaction.
Yeah.
I was concerned that negative reactions might make you super depressed and suicidal.
Yeah, well,
Because
those are reasonable things to be
suicide
concerned
rates
about.
in the trans community is super high. 40%?
40%? That
Pretty
feels
sure
right
that's
to me
right.
too,
No, I'm
but
pretty sure it's right. It's like 40%. And so that scared me.
and then like hate crime percentage is
Yeah.
also huge, so it's something to be concerned about.
And I don't want to have to hate crime people.
You don't want to hate crime them back.
That's like a real concern for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like weirdly protective because I'm a bit older than you and we had a weird childhood. But anyways, I feel like besides the fact that we're friends and siblings, I also feel like mother hen. Like I feel like I would protect you like my kids. And if someone like came at you, I'd have to kill them. And I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to be a prison mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you would
I
definitely
don't
like.
want to.
fly-
I have some
fly
weird.
off the handle.
I have like vigilante blood. I don't know what it is, but every time there's an injustice, I'm like, this must be righted. We need to fix this
Yep.
get my
is
pitchfork
true. That is true.
and take some people out. So I don't want to have to do that either. So that's. So I was just concerned for
The world.
backlash. I didn't want to have to bitch slap people in the face. which we haven't had to. Well,
There's many times that I should have, but I'm not interested in
I haven't had
getting
to. I've had one person say something ignorant to me.
killed and or put in jail. So.
And I just blocked him on Facebook. So I didn't have to kill him.
Mostly people have been okay. Just not strangers. Just not people out in the world.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes. Obviously, that's not always the case. I've had a lot of really good people.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you some questions real quick. I'm going to skip a couple.
Do
because
it.
We are running out of time.
Mine aren't important. The rest of them are boring.
We'll just do them quick, because I like answering questions, too. But these are the ones that somebody asked, and they were anonymous. So, the anonymous questions, they're more like geared just towards you. So, I'll ask you real quick. What age did you realize that you were trans?
Well, if we're going to be real honest, about it, I had no idea because I was so... My whole life I just wanted to, like, be what everybody wanted me to be and, like, make everybody happy and love me and stuff. And so it wasn't an option. It wasn't something I would have ever considered because I knew that
People please.
even acting, like, even liking masculine things upset everyone and was a problem. So I just tried to get over my damn self. And it was not for the best. But that's how I was about liking girls, too. I was like, I'm not gonna like girls forever.
Yeah.
And eventually, once...
Like I said, from like the time you were 6, I was like lesbian or something. Like something. And...
Oh, yeah. And me telling...
You almost had me fooled when you were in high school, though.
Oh,
when
I
you were
tried
in high
really
school,
hard in high school.
you were so girly and had all these boyfriends, and I was like, maybe I've been wrong this whole time.
It was my last hurrah. I really gave it my all. And then I moved out, and it was easier to not just think about pleasing, like, everyone around me and just, like, how I feel, because I was alone and, like, could make those choices. So then I was like, this is for sure. Like, I kind of started thinking about it, but anytime I would think about it or see somebody, I would usually avoid it, because I didn't want to want it, and I didn't want to, like, feel that way. So it took me a long time. I think the moral of the story is I was, like, 20 years old, or 19, and then I kind of promptly started transitioning after like 6 months of thinking about it, because I was like, it's not really something I have to think about. I just have to stop being against it so much. I just have to let myself be okay, is what it came down to. So.
And then anonymous person also wants to know if you had any influences, like things in your life that have influenced. Not that you can be influenced into being transgender, but if it's like influenced your transition. Is there somebody that like helped push you towards it sooner, or are there like people that like made you not transition as soon as you would have wanted to?
Yeah.
No,
So
influences.
all of society and our family, who I love, definitely made me not want to transition at all, 0%.
Yeah.
Because it was not something that I knew was going to be very easily understood or accepted, and I don't like to be an outcast. Believe it or not.
Does anyone?
Believe it or not, I don't like to put myself in that bubble.
Even the people who are like, I'm a lone wolf, I feel like deep down they're like,
yeah, but I wish I had friends.
I'm just gonna pretend I like it.
That's how
so
I
people
usually
don't
feel. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need friends.
So people aren't like, well, who are you? You're like, I like it like this.
Yeah.
I'm just crying myself to sleep every night, but it's fine.
Yeah. But then when it comes to influencing me to transition, like I said, I was like super in denial, super avoiding anything on the internet that had anything to do with that, because I was just like, I can't, because I know that it'll just like break my brain blocks and it'll just all be over. Like, I can't lie to myself anymore. But then I had followed somebody on, I can't remember his name, but I followed one guy on Tumblr for a while, and I was always interested in him, but I don't know, it was okay, because it was just the one guy. It wasn't too much, I guess, I don't know. And it wasn't videos, and it wasn't frequent. But then, when I decided to like, I don't know, I think maybe I did find it on Tumblr, but I found Ty Turner, which you could totally
Shout out.
Shout out to Ty Turner.
Shout out to Ty Turner.
You made my life okay. I saw Ty Turner on YouTube, and I saw his, like, 2-year transition video, and I was like, dang. Because I didn't realize that you could... I had always had a bad... I don't know. I didn't really realize that you could transition, and, like... I don't know, like, it wasn't... You didn't have to be somebody that everybody always, like, made fun of because... you looked different or wrong or whatever. We just had like a really bad idea of it growing up because there wasn't any of it.
We only had one in our town. Well, they could be anywhere.
One woman.
That's the thing, is they could be anywhere and look normal, and you would have absolutely no idea
Yeah.
that person...
Super nice.
But we only had one that was like, you could tell.
Well,
Because she ran out of money mid-transition.
Which
So
is a
it
problem
was-
for most people. So I mean, you could tell that she was different, and that's all right.
Yeah.
But the people around us in, like, our community would make fun of this person and really, like, just jokes and that it wasn't okay and stuff. And so it wasn't something that I realized you
She
could
was definitely
do
like an outcast.
and be
It didn't
happy.
seem like she had friends.
Yeah.
Or anybody.
It was just sad. So I just thought, like, if I chose this, I was going to just be outcasted and sad, and I couldn't be what I wanted. Like, I could never actually be who I wanted to be. Like, it just wasn't possible. And then I saw Ty, and he went from being super skinny and little, like me, and, like, pretty, high-pitched voice or whatever, and to his 2-year transition, and he looked like, like a freaking buff man, and I was like, I didn't know this was possible. I didn't know that hormones could do so much for you, and that you could really, like, be who you wanted to be. I thought you just kind of had to, like, pretend.
Yeah, because believe it or not, I think you're more feminine than I am.
Acting.
No, looking.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the truth.
Like, you're definitely skinnier than me.
Yeah, I didn't have any hips.
Girlier
Thank
face than
goodness.
me. Higher pitched voice than me.
That's
Believe it or
true.
not, seriously.
Well, because your voice is, like...
I don't have a high pitched
It's not high-pitched, and mine was super high-pitched and annoying.
I have the voice of someone who smokes a pack of cigarettes a day, and I've never smoked cigarettes.
You do not. Your voice is just fine. I was the worst. Even for even if I wasn't trans, just terrible girl voice, just piercing. Awful.
Yeah. You were made to be a pop star. Sing pop music.
Pop
That's
music.
so high pitched, no one can sing it on the radio with you because they're like, "How is this a voice?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel pretty much. I sing voice songs on the radio.
Yeah. Well, I used to not be able to, so I understand. I understand that. Yeah. I pretty much give it all to Ty, though, because he made me see that it was, like, okay.
Go find Ty. Give him all your thumbs up.
He's awesome.
Give him all your love.
Mm-hmm. If anybody has, like, actually really informational videos and knows what to say, it's Ty. So...